it's different. It's not the same. You can look at it on the shelf. It's different colors. It's not the same. They said they're doing something to the apples, the apple skin. They're putting stuff on it, and it's not the same. So things are being bought out and changed like you would never. And I mean, things are happening, and they've been happening. We just are barely finding out about it. So the things we enjoy eating and drinking, man, I'm telling you, we are being pushed out of the supermarkets and finding people that are homesteaders to buy. And isn't it something? It's against the law to buy milk. Why would anyone make such a law? You know, and it, I guess whatever animal it is, they want to make sure that animal's got the jab, right? Mm-hmm. So then the milk that comes from it is affected because of this jab. So we've been finding other ways to get goat's milk, and it's hard. I'm doing a project for a lady for meat. And I know a man right now that he has chickens, and I'm supposed to do a job, and I might trade my labor for chickens. And I'm here to tell you, the Father will make a way. When I first started trying, I told Casey we need to push from staying away. We need to get out of these grocery stores. You wouldn't believe what happened. I would go to my hardware stores. Vegetables would be on the counter, and I'll say, "How much for the vegetables?" "Oh, these are our leftovers. We're giving them away. Do you want some?" I started picking them and bringing them home. I said, "Look, Casey, what I'm finding." But it was amazing because it was at the time that I'm looking for more natural food. And the Father's like telling me, if you are looking for these things, you're going to find what you're looking for. But you have to set your heart of leaving a certain thing and following His ways, the more natural way. And if you do that, He will never leave you nor forsake you. He will make a way. You would be surprised on people just right around you that are selling meat, eggs, milk, things that your family can be blessed by. We don't need to just pull out a pocketbook and buy hundreds of dollars of junk and garbage and poison and feed our families. I look at it like this. I love my children. I love my wife. I want the best for them. And it's a battle to try to find things like this. We know that our water's poison. We know that they're doing these things. We have to really fight for the things that we want. And can you imagine the things I'm saying here, you're not going to hear in Sunday school tomorrow, right? The things we talk about here, I don't think there's anyone in this town that is talking about being persecuted and suffering, right? All right, let's continue. I want to go to Matthew. I won't keep you out too long. I just have a few scriptures I'd like to read. And let's see. Let's go to Matthew 10. And verse 24. And it reads, "The disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Adonai. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master." I'll read that again. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master. Wow. Isn't that amazing? And what did Yahusha told Peter? You go over here and you throw your hook in the water, and the first fish you catch, there's going to be money in his mouth. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master. What does that mean? We can call things that be not as though they were. We're supposed to be created in His image. What was He? He was a creator. We're supposed to be creators. I have found at my age, when I hear negative talking, especially from some of my guys, I will change the subject, and I've noticed that they'll start turning to what I'm talking about because of what they're talking about, sex, drugs, rock and roll, whatever. And then I'm talking about the goodness of our Adonai and our Master, our Creator, and turn things around because I don't want to hear that stuff. So we can speak things and the whole atmosphere will change because of how we're speaking about. If you notice, when we go to a barbecue or something, everyone's talking about this or that, but we can actually change that talk, and actually we can have a barbecue revival if you wanted it to be. All we got to do is put him in the forefront, and people will begin to ask, and there'll be we have people right here. Man, I feel such a peace here. I feel such a liberty here. And then we tell them, hey, I mean, this is the way we're supposed to live. This is the way it's supposed to be, not chaotic and screaming and fighting. And it's supposed to be peaceful, shalom. And if you don't have shalom, find out why you don't. The Bible says, perfect peace have they that have their mind stayed upon thee. Who is thee? Is his word, right? All right. And the servant as Adonai, if they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more shall they call them of his household? So they calling Yahusha Beelzebub, how much more shall they call them of his household? Right? Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. We hear of these money preachers, I won't mention no names. They're getting caught doing things. I mean, we think, oh man, how could they do? Don't worry. Their time is coming. When, Yahweh, when? He knows when. And vengeance is coming. Not that we're praying for this to happen, but we see that these things are happening to them that are holding the truth and preaching the truth and unrighteous. What's happening? They're being revealed of who they are. And that's why it's so important for us to be for real. And if we're not for real, we need to repent. And we got to be all the way or don't be in at all. And, me and Casey always wanted to go to a church or an assembly that there was real people there that serving our Creator, right? And I thought, man, this man could pray if he could only be here pray. And then I felt like something was telling me, or someone was telling me, you be that person. So I really feel we can't make someone do something, but we can make ourselves. And it starts within ourselves. We could be that person where they say, man, that Larry, all he wants to do is talk about the Bible and this, and that would be awesome. I'm not there yet, but that would be awesome if that's all I would talk about. And everything I do, I would be mentioning about the kingdom of heaven, right? Wouldn't that be awesome? And it says, what I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in the light, and what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops. So the main thing about this, if they call the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more shall they call them of his household? So I always say this, if you're not hated, you're not doing anything for your master. It's only when you're being hated that you know that you're doing something right. And to the natural ears and to a regular Christian, a supposedly just saved Christian or whatever, that would sound like, what? If you're not being hated, you are not living the life. It's when your brothers and sisters and family, they come against you because of what you believe and they hate you. That's when you know you're on something. It's so easily to just join a so-called church or denomination. Hey, everyone's going to love its own. But when you come against man-made teachings, against paganism, against all these things that are man-made, people begin to hate on that. And that's when you know you're doing the good. I always check out people that they have called cult members. You look at that and go, woo. Do you know it's so easy to make someone scary? If you ever looked at the news and you see someone that just robs them, and then they'll show a slow image of that person moving and they'll play a scary, what is that called? Demonizing. So when I look at someone demonizing someone, I don't just judge so quickly. I want to judge righteous judgment. I want to know that person. You know, sometimes we hear someone that just got out of prison, and you know, you just want to know, man, what did this guy do? Or something. Judge righteous judgment. Look at him. By his fruits, Yahusha said, you shall know him.
Right.
Not by his background. What is he now? We've all done things that we're not proud of, but what are we doing now? Because it's by your fruits right now is he's going to know who you are, and people will know who you are. And people that are living in darkness, what does it say? It's going to be revealed for the whole world to see. And that's why we have to watch our mouth, watch everything we do. One time I was doing a ceiling fan for a preacher man, and I had my hands on the positive and the common, and guess what happened to me? He turned on the switch, and it got me, and I went, ah! And he goes, you passed the test. He wanted to see if I was going to cuss. But in a way, I got to see what was in me. I was like, wow, I didn't cuss. So maybe that's a good thing. Or when I hit my hammer on my thumb, you know, that hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the word will slip. But if it doesn't slip, that means you are actually controlling that tongue. And if you could control that tongue, I applaud you. Because that's a hard thing to do. And I am not there yet where I can control my tongue all the time. Because gossiping or telling stories of what you've heard sometimes does come out of this mouth. I'll say something and then I'll realize I can't take it back. It already went forth. The only thing I could do is, Father, help me not to be speaking of something that I heard. And even though I feel...